Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I am going to be explaining why I am doing all of the things that I am doing, and just also kind of going through my thought process in a ranked game of the finals. There's also going to be some tips and tricks here and there throughout the game. So just at the start of the game, it's always good to press J or whatever the equivalent is on PlayStation or Xbox, and just see what your teammates are using, because it's valuable information for you, and when you're in the game, it's going to take a little bit longer to figure out what your teammates are using when you can just press J in the main menu, and then it's a lot easier. So I know one of my teammates is using the healing beam, and one of my teammates is using the Guardian turret, and they both have the defibrillator on. One's got a jump pad and one's got a zip line. So all of that is very, very useful information. I might be able to use their zip lines if I trail behind them a little bit, and so on. So that's always good to do at the start of the game. No matter what the class is, it's always good to know what your teammates are going to be using, just so you can kind of play off that a bit yourself as well. And as usual, we're going to go to the vault that is closer here, which is Vault 1. And there's a light that's just opened the vault, so I RPG'd. Then I see a different person down there. I take a shot at them. They happen to be low. I get a kill. I throw a dome shield because I'm low and I don't want to die. That light over there I think is still low from before, so I try and shoot them from long range with the shotgun, and I do end up getting the kill as well, and now purple has been team wiped. Sometimes the team wipe sound is a little bit late. I think that actually happens a lot in this video. It was a bit late there, but if you just look at the top left, you could see that we wiped purple. So it's always a good idea to not just base that particular thing off of the sound, the team wipes I mean. You can always just look in the top left and see if there's a countdown. Then if there's a countdown, that team has obviously been wiped. Now, here, a lot of people would keep going to A. Someone already put a vault into A, and that's when you want to switch and go to B. Now, yes, it is good to be the first one to put the vault in, but one of the other teams got that vault into A first. And you don't want to put the vault into A, because then there's only going to be one cash out, and then there's a 25% chance that you're going to be the one that gets that cash out. But if you put it into B, it's more like a 50% chance that you're going to be the one to get that cash out, because the 4 teams are going to be split in 2, which means it's like 50-50 instead of 25-25-25-25, right? So even though this has been put in later and everyone's going to come in third party at this one, it's still more beneficial to put it into this one than it is to put it into A. So that's why we went here, and a teammate recognized that as well. So having teammates with good game sense is always very, very valuable. I'm just solo queuing here. I don't know either of these two people, but game sense is really, really important, and I got a bit lucky with the matchmaking. I did get teammates with good game sense. Even if you don't have good aim, you can still win with game sense, which is pretty much like all of my ranked videos in the finals, right? Like, I don't have incredible aim, I just have decent game sense. I just understand how the game works, and that's very, very, very valuable. Especially in this game. In other games like Overwatch, there is an objective, but shooting at the people is a little bit more important in those types of games. In this game, the objective is very, very, very important, and then killing the enemies is almost like a secondary thing. But anyway, we're fighting pink here. I just jumped down. I see one had got killed. I thought I could get a nice RPG. I did. I whiff a bunch of shots here. The heavy ends up dying, and then I get the other one as well. And then we get the team wipe. The sound wasn't late that time. Sometimes it isn't, sometimes it isn't. One of my teammates is using the CL40. This is not a very powerful weapon. The FCAR is quite powerful. And also the Model 1889, I think it's called. The medium shotgun is quite powerful right now as well. CL40 definitely isn't really used much in ranked. It's quite fun to use, and it's okay. There are other options that would just be better, though. But they seem to be doing alright with it so far, so that doesn't really matter. Now, I pushed a little bit before because there is still lots of time on B. So if someone else got the cash out while I pushed to kill that other team before a second ago, we still would have had time to come back to B and get it again. Now that there's not so much time left on B, you don't want to do that. You want to stick by it. Both of my teammates have pushed a little bit far. Someone started stealing it now. They'd have a tough time getting back to B. So I'm just staying here until I know that no one can steal it. And that's just so that no one steals it last second, and then there's nothing we can do about it, right? Now, once I know that there's enough time on B, once I know that no one can go and steal it, then I push to my teammates, but it seems like they've cleared everyone out already, so I don't actually really have to do anything. But just do be wary of pushing a little bit too far away from the cash out, because you don't want, some invisible light to sneak past you and go and steal it last second, because that's never very nice. So I was just being extra defensive there, and I didn't really push with my team. Again, it was okay the first time, because there was still lots of time left on B, so even if someone had stolen it then, we still would have been able to go back, kill the person that stole it, and then get the cash out back. but when it's like last second, you're not going to have time to steal it back, so that's when you have to be extra careful. Luckily, Vault 4 spawns right next to us, and we're just going to grab this vault and we're going to go to the next cash out, and I'm going to skip to that. So, we get the vault into cash out C. We've again put it in second, which is not what you really want to be doing, but it's okay. We're going to have to try and defend it anyway. And this is a spot I'm not actually familiar with. I don't think I've seen the cash out in this area before, which is kind of interesting. It's always nice when you get a new spot. And now we're just watching out for people, and I'm using these goo barrels to try and be as defensive as possible. You want to use the barrels. It's never a good idea to really put the pyro barrel by the goo barrel, which I wasn't thinking about there. But you do want to use the goo barrels. I get a kill. That guy was kind of low, so I just finished them off. And when you get a kill, it's always very, very good to kind of guard the totems. So for a second, I was guarding that person's totem. Then I saw my teammate getting shot. I marked the enemy, and then I saw this heavy over here. So I went to go and kill the heavy, so this heavy didn't mess up my teammates, because heavies are very, very strong and can kill people really easily. I saw my teammate was low here. I was expecting someone to chase them afterwards, so I was kind of looking from where they fell down in case someone else dropped down to try and finish them off. They didn't though. It's just a light, and when you're a light 1v1ing a heavy, it's really just not going to go that great. I'm continuously shooting them there just so that they don't go invisible again, and then I lose track of them completely. When you're facing a light, you do want to kind of keep continuously shooting at them little bit by little bit, not to kill them, just so that you can make sure they don't go invisible and slip away. So even though I had a shotgun, and even though they were quite far away there, I did manage to get that kill just because I was very slowly dealing bits of their health off, but also I was preventing them from going invisible and completely disappearing. So we won that fight, we got the team wipe, and now I'm going to skip to the next one, which happens just around here. So we're just defending the last little bit on C. I see a light, I get stunned so I can't RPG them, but you know, the shotgun is also very, very powerful, and the light isn't that powerful. So I get them low with the shotgun, then I finish them off with the RPG. I just try and dodge their gas grenade a little bit. Then I throw a dome shield by the cash out, so if anyone goes to steal, I can do a little bit of damage to them with my shotgun and then blow up the C4 I have on the cash out. Always put C4 on the cash out. People are kind of wary of it now because it's like a known tactic, right? If C4 is on the cash out, you probably shouldn't steal the cash out. But it's always good to do it anyway, and I think you'll probably see it pay off later on in this video. So both teammates are dead. I'm trying to wait a second here, and then I was going to go and revive, but it's also kind of odd. It's an odd scenario, because Vault 6 is directly behind me, and there's 1 minute left on this match. So I kind of want to defend Vault 6 and not open it, because there's only 1 minute left. If things stay how they are, we're going to win, so we almost don't want to put this vault in, right? But I also kind of want to rest my teammates. 1 coins, and then they try and defibrillate. They do defibrillate, actually, but they die because there was a mine that they landed on. I try an RPG, but they were too close to me, so I couldn't RPG myself because I would blow up. And then we get team wiped, I think. I think our other medium's about to die. They defibrillate, and then I think they both die. Yeah, so that was just a little bit of an unfortunate fight, but the good thing about that is that nobody's opened Vault 6 yet. Someone does have Vault 5 open, but no one's really going to be able to get Vault 6, because it takes 20 seconds to open a vault, meaning they'd have 10 seconds to get that vault into a cash out, and that's just not going to happen. And I'm looking at where the other vault is to see if they're going to get it in, so I know if we have to run to A or B, but it really looks like they're not going to be able to get Vault 5 into cash out A or B, so we don't really have to do so much here. Just in case they do, though, I start running to A. I don't know, I'm going to start running to Vault 6 here, so that if one of them does get a cash out in, we're going to have an extra 1,000 cash, meaning we're definitely not going to have to try and go counter the cash out that's in, if that makes sense. I just opened that vault just so we would have an extra 1,000 cash, basically, but we ended up not needing it, so I didn't really have to do that, but it also didn't matter. It was more of like a safety net kind of a thing. But we ended up winning that game. I only died once. I had a very, very good match in that round, and both of my teammates played very okay as well, and they just had decent, solid game sense, which is really all it takes to win a lot of games when it comes down to the finals. And now we're going to go on to round 2. So this is the start of round 2, and we are most likely just going to go to the closer vault. Having map knowledge is always good, and when you've got 2 mediums on your team, it's good to try and like stay behind them a little bit so that if they do any zip lines or jump pads like that, you can follow in their footsteps. I wasn't really thinking about that, so I was a bit behind, but I did end up using the jump pad or the zip line that one of my teammates put down. So just be wary of that. If you've got mediums on your team with zip line and jump pad, just be ready to use those like at the start of the spawn or something like that. I blow up these mines, so they're not an issue for me or my teammates later on. A light tries to stun me, they miss. I don't really know where they are. I find someone else though. My teammate gets killed. I burst through that wall just so I can get a bit of cover. I reload the shotgun. I have a 1v1 with this heavy right here. I get the kill. Teammate helps me out, and I get healed. And I say thanks. It's always nice to say thanks. I think I heard a light back there. I fight the medium. I get the assist. And I'm going to reload my shotgun. Always good to reload your weapons. Gonna use this jump pad, and we're just gonna try and get the vault into the cash out. So again, it's always good to try and put the cash out in first. It didn't really go very well for us in the previous match, and in this match we have now put in the first cash out, which is good. That's the situation that you want to be in. And now I'm gonna skip to whenever the next thing happens. Whenever you're on a moving platform, chances are you're probably going to pass by the other cash out, which is what what's happening in this situation here. So we just have to be careful. We have to watch out for one of the other teams at cash out B, and we're gonna have to see if they like try and switch to our cash out and try and take our cash out instead. It would be better to try and go for our cash out as well, because we put it in first, so even if they don't get it, they can fall back onto B afterwards. So you do have to be careful that no one really tries to like switch to cash out A here. You just have to keep an eye on B, and you have to play quite defensively. I took a shot at someone. I don't think I got the kill though. I just threw the dome shield down, so I'm not gonna get like beamed out of nowhere. And now we're just still defending A. I don't actually think anything else is going to happen, so I might skip ahead just a little bit. Yeah, nothing really happened for a while. We ended up getting the last cash out with no other teams fighting us. Then we went straight to the next vault. We opened that vault, and we put that vault into D without running into any of the teams. So D is like halfway done, and no one's put in the fourth vault yet. So, you know, it's someone's option to kind of try and third party this here. I thought I heard a light use a stun gun, so I'm just having a little look around this area, but we're also overlooking all of the other teams. You don't really want to shoot at the other teams here, you just want to make sure no one messes around with your cash out. So I do have my RPG out, but I'm just kind of observing them. What I'm thinking right now is, if they try and use the zipline kind of north, I'm going to try and blow up the zipline and get like a 3-team kill. But I am also just deliberately not using my RPG otherwise, because I have to save it for when there's a team here. I didn't see the guy beneath. Now I've seen the guy beneath. I missed the RPG shot, so the cash out falls down. I get a little bit shot from someone, try and hit them with an explosive barrel, but it doesn't work. I get blown up a little bit. See a heavy. The heavy doesn't see me though, so I'm probably going to try and kill them in a second. I jump up after them, and I try and shoot them with my shotgun. They fall down, and I try and use the charge and slam. Well, I try and use the slam part of the charge and slam to kill them. And now I'm just going to try and chase them off, because I knew they were low. Important to focus the guy that was low. So there was one directly in front of me. I didn't shoot at them, though. I killed the other one instead. They get defibrillated. I kill them again. And now I get this medium kind of low, but I do end up dying. And I think I'm probably going to get rezzed in a second, or my teammates are going to, like, clean up the fight. Gets a nice kill. I get rezzed. And now we are in first place. And has the other cash vault been put in? No, the other vault still hasn't been put in. So when you're in this situation, you're in first place by quite a lot. And no matter who gets Vault 4 in, you're still going to be in the lead. But if someone gets Vault 4 in and then Cash Out 5 also starts, now maybe you're not going to win anymore. So you don't go to Vault 4 here, you go to Vault 5 and you try and defend it so that no one else puts it in, because no matter who gets Vault 4, you're still going to win. You might not be in first place, but even if you come second, you're still going to qualify, right? So don't go to Vault 4 in this situation, don't go to whatever cash out it gets put into, don't go into that cash out there, I don't know which letter it is. Just defend Vault 5. I don't even have to ping anything as well. My teammates are smart, which is quite rare, but my teammates understand what's happening. They've got good game sense. They know they're not supposed to open this vault. They know we're just defending it. We know they know we don't want this to be open, because if we don't open it, that gives us the best chances of winning. So we're just defending this. I don't really know what blows up here. I was a little bit confused for a couple of seconds. I just use a goo barrel to try and chuck it on the stairs, just because I might as well. We only have to defend for 1 minute, and if we do that successfully, we're going to win. Well, not immediately after, like in 1 minute 30 seconds we're going to win, but if we defend for the 1 minute, then we're going to win. You'll see anyway. So we're just defending this. I've got 2 C4 in the thing, so I'm ready to blow this up if someone comes in through the door. Even if they open it, it's kind of okay as long as I get the kill and just make sure they're dead. So I am just defending it. There's 35 seconds left. Now, a vault takes 20 seconds to open. So once the timer hits the 20-second mark, you can open this because it means it's impossible for anyone else to get this into a cash out. So once there's less than 20 seconds left, I can like open this and go to the next cash out, which is what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to do it a bit late though. One of my teammates marks the cash out, so they know exactly what's going on, which is very rare in finals ranked just because of how the matchmaking works, but they clearly understand what's happening. They've got good game sense. I almost die there. I almost fall off the map. I think my teammate thought I was going to die as well because they did a little look to me. I opened the vault just for an extra 1,000 cash, and now we all go to cash out C just to try and get it, because even if we get wiped, it doesn't matter. We're still going to win. We might not be in first place if we get wiped. We're still going to be in second place, though, so we're still going to win, so it doesn't matter if we get wiped here or not. So I just kind of dive in. You know, it's ranked, but sometimes in ranked, if the situation allows, you can just kind of do whatever you want, and that's one of these situations. You can just do whatever you want here, because it doesn't matter if you die. I just jump in, I get destroyed, and my teammates just spend the last couple of seconds of the game just shooting at stuff. And then we qualify. So, you know, game sense was very, very important. We made a lot of calls that were just the right kind of calls in that match, and then we do end up qualifying, and now we're going to go on to the next round. So we're loading into round 3. At the start of each round, it's always good to check what your teammates are using, just in case they switch anything up. But no one switched anything up in this round. I actually think everyone keeps the same stuff for the entire like game. But it is good just to make sure they don't change anything at the start of the round, or if they do change anything, just so you know what it is that they've changed, so you know what they're using. But we just go to the first vault. I think this this match has under construction like game modifier, so there are going to be those bits that you can go to and you can go up on, the little bits that have all like the scaffolding, the yellow scaffolding. And I quite like this variant, actually, because it does make the map feel very, very different. I think all of the modifiers in general are very, very good, unless it's on Las Vegas. Actually, Las Vegas does have the Sandstorm variant, which I quite like as well. But anyway, we get the first vault. We don't really run into anyone, and I just try and pop this into cash out A. Again, always good to be the first one to put the cash out in like 99% of scenarios. There are situations where you do want to put it in second. I think you might actually even see that at the end of this match in particular. But for most scenarios, you want to be the first one to put the cash out in. So we're going to, I'm just going to res my teammate here. Always good to go for the res. I see them both down there. I'm not fast enough with the RPG shot. I RPG them there. I see they're low. I'm just going to charge and slam through that wall, because that's most likely where that heavy is. It's most likely where they went for cover. They thought they were safe with their mesh shield, but they weren't. And that's why I like charge and slam. The mesh shield's like very, very, very defensive, and it's only really good with a very coordinated team. So if you're solo queuing, it's not going to be the best pick. And I just prefer the charge and slam to the goo gun, so that's why I've got the charge and slam. So we have the cash out. I think I've got some C4 on it. No, I don't, but I'm putting C4 on it now. Always good to just put C4 on the cash out, so if someone goes to steal, you can blow it up and get the kill. And now I'm going to skip to the next fight. So there's not so much time left on the cash out. Someone definitely still might have time to steal it, so you do still have to be defensive here. Teammate marks the crane, which means someone's probably going to be on the crane. I don't want to use my RPG on it. I see an explosive barrel. I just try and throw the explosive barrel at the crane so I can try and maybe blow up the crane so that person isn't up there anymore. It doesn't do anything though. I don't know where the weak point for the crane is. Maybe someone can say that in the comments down below, but there should be a weak point for most things. I think the crane does have one as well, because sometimes you see it like completely destroyed. But anyway, very, very not so much time left on the cash out now, so I could just run away here, but you can also kind of fight here. Like, it is going to be better to go to the next vault, but sometimes it's hard to think about that. Sometimes you do just get a bit of tunnel vision. I see the next cash out here, then I see Vault 3, and I do go to Vault 3. So both my teammates, I think, kind of stayed in that fight, even though they didn't really have to. And now I'm kind of wondering whether I should just try and res my teammates, or open this vault, and then go res my teammates. I was opening the scoreboard there to see how many coins they had. I was wondering if they were going to coin. But I open the vault, and then I mark the teammates' like icons, so they know I'm going to go and res. And generally, if a teammate marks your icon to say they're going to go and res, you probably shouldn't coin, but I think my teammate does end up coining here. Yeah, both of them coin, and then I'm kind of here for no reason, and now we're going to go back to the other vault. Now this is like an okay decision. It's like fair enough, because they have the coins to spare. I think that might be the first coins that they've used, and they kind of want to get like the vault going, which makes sense. So, you know, it's not the worst decision. And I get a kill there. That person was low. It's actually, in that fight, you would have seen that I had the RPG out, the guy was right in front of me, but I didn't use the RPG because the RPG does more damage to you than it does to the enemy at close range. So I switched to the shotgun. I took an extra second to switch to the shotgun, and then I finished off the person, and now we've got the vault, and we're just going to try and put it into the cash out. I think there's a team here, if I remember correctly. Maybe not, though. Maybe that's at some point later on. I put the cash out in. Again, always put the C4 on the cash out. I'm trying to put it kind of lower down on the cash out as well, so maybe later on if I find some barrels, I can cover it up with barrels so they're not so obvious, but that's kind of hard to do. I find a goo barrel, always good to try and reinforce the area that you're defending, to make the defending of the area easier. So I put it by the stairway so no one can really easily come up the stairway. Just reload the RPG to make sure everything's nice and ready for the next fight. RPG that heavy. I'm going to try and finish them from close range. Note that I went a little bit closer to them before I kept shooting because someone was shooting me from somewhere else. I'm low. Throw a dome shield because I know they're going to push. I get some shots off on them, but they do end up killing me. Dome shield's very, very good for when someone's going to push because a lot of times it will help you just get the kill. I charged the sand that guy to finish them off. Someone's stealing the cash out. Boom. Blow up the C4. There's the team wipe. So even though putting the C4 on the cash out is quite known, and a lot of the time people just aren't going to try and steal the cash out if there's C4 there, you still do get like a very important kill every now and then with it. And that's what happened there. I think that team might have actually been very coordinated, and like one of the teammates said, oh, I killed their heavy, they can't blow up their C4 anymore. But then I got defibrillated, so then I could blow it up again. I think that might have maybe been what happened there. But I got defibrillated so I could blow up the C4. I try and grab my teammate's totem here. I try and throw it to my other teammate so they can defibrillate, but I accidentally right-click instead of left-clicking, and then I left-click afterwards, which means I blew myself up with my RPG. So that was really, really bad. That was just a bad play from me. I tried to go and get my other teammate's totem so that the medium could defibrillate, so that we would all be alive, but I just messed up the buttons, and I blew myself up with my own RPG, and that was not very good. And now we're going to res, and we're going to see what's happening. I actually don't remember what happens here. We respawn. There's no point going to cash out C here because you don't have time. And a teammate marks the other cash out, which is good. Like it's just so nice playing with teammates that know how the game works, because in 90% of ranked matches, it just doesn't go down like that, unfortunately, because the rank system is really, really bad. But my teammates know how the game works. They know that going to this cash out makes much more sense than going to the cash out that you're not going to have time to get, as silly as it sounds. So we go to this cash out. I think I kind of take like the slow option here. There's normally a zipline here, which is why I went this way, but the zipline isn't there. I try and climb up this wall, but it doesn't work, and then I'm going to try and climb up the other side, and that is going to work, I think. But this is kind of a hard cash out to get into, especially when you don't have much time on it. I'm going to throw a C4 because I don't want to use my RPG on like a wall. So I'm going to throw my C4 and try and blow up the bottom part of that so it falls down. But that does not work. I get super low. I throw a dome shield in case someone tries to push me so I can RPG them and then finish them off. But that doesn't work. They destroy my dome shield from long range. I try and blow my C4 up just in case anyone's there. I see my teammates are low. I see an orange heavy there. I hope they didn't see me, but they did. And I think I'm just going to die here. I tried to use my charge SAM to go straight forwards, but I accidentally jumped first, and then I just died. So I kind of had two horrible plays in a row there. I definitely played very, very badly both of those times. And now there's not much time left in the game, and we are currently not qualifying. So that's not good, because we want to qualify, we want to go on to the next round, and that's why it's very, very good to use the spectating time to see what's happening in the game. Vault 5 is going to be put into cash out A, and the second vault, Vault 6, has just spawned in. Now, like I would have mentioned earlier on in this video, a vault takes 20 seconds to open, meaning I'm going to have about 30 seconds to get this vault into cash out B. My teammates are both going to A, and that's fine, because I have absolutely no idea if I'm going to be able to get this vault into cash out B in 30 seconds. I just don't know if I can get it in that time, because it is quite far away, and I'm a heavy. I'm the slowest class. I don't have any ziplines or jump pads, so, you know, a teammate marks cash out B, they see what I'm doing, and they're like, hey, let's go defend B, because they're going to get that cash out in. I have absolutely no idea if I'm going to get this in or not, so I start running to B, I go up to take the stairs, and teammates are both at it, so admittedly I probably should have maybe like jumped out the window and tried to throw them the vault. That might have worked, but I didn't really want to risk that. I thought I could get up the stairs in time. It's not in this room. Sometimes it's in this room, I think, but it was actually upstairs. I throw it to my teammate. There's 3 seconds left. There's 2 seconds left. and then we get it into the vault, and that guy gets absolutely obliterated. We were all at that cash out. We all wanted that to go in, because otherwise we were probably going to lose, and that guy gets killed really, really quickly. But this is very, very good, and this is like the one situation where you want to put in the cash out second. So a lot of the time I say you want to put the cash out in first, and most times you do. This scenario where there's like not much time left on the clock just before it enters overtime, that's when you want to put in the second cash out, and you want it to be second because then you only have to defend it for 1 minute. I think normally you have to defend a cash out for 2 minutes or maybe slightly less than that. But when you're putting it into, like when we just did there, just before the overtime starts, you only have to defend it for 1 minute, and that 1 minute goes very, very quickly, and the other cash out is also still active. So there's like, if someone comes here, it's probably only going to be one team, because both of the cash outs are going to go at the same time, and they really don't have that much time to get it. They would have had more time to get the other cash out, because the other cash out also had time before overtime as well, if that makes sense. So that's kind of like a complicated thing that you can do in quite niche scenarios, but we barely got that vault in. We had just enough time to do it, and then we do end up qualifying to the final round. So I messed up twice in that game at quite important moments, and then I think I kind of brought it back at the end by getting that last second vault in. So again, game sense in this game, it's like the game that benefits the most from game sense out of any other type of competitive game like ever. Anyway, I'm going to skip to the next round, and this is now the final round. So this is now the final round. None of us changed anything, but as I was saying, in a game like Overwatch, you have an objective that you have to complete, whether it's like to push the robot or to stay on the payload and all that kind of stuff, but you always want to kill the enemy. If you don't kill the enemy, nothing is going to happen. In this game, sometimes you can just not kill any enemies at all and still win the match, which is what happened at the last cash out. At that last cash out, we only killed one person collectively, and we won, right? We ended up qualifying, and now we're in the final round. So it really is, like, it's not about killing the other player. It's not a battle royale. It's not even like Overwatch or anything like that. You just have to focus on the objective and just think a little bit, and that is going to win you the match in a lot of situations, which is what happened at the end of that last round. But anyway, we're at this one. This is the final round. I got a kill. I'm going to try and shoot this turret, just because turrets can be a little bit annoying to teammates sometimes, especially if you don't have like a bunch of health like the Heavy does. I destroyed the APS turret as well, just because I don't really want them there. And I see this vault. The ground blows up, so I think someone is beneath. I try and hit them with the vault, but they run past. And here, I should probably have just kept going to the cash out. I kind of bring the vault with me. I see that they go through that vent. I mark them. I try and charge and slam them to cut them off. I kind of confuse myself a little bit. I meant to go through this door the first time. I don't know where the medium went. I'm going to reload my shotgun, and now I'm going to put this into one of the cash outs. So when it's the final round, stuff obviously changes a little bit. You can take more fights. And when it's the vault, you want to time it so that you're putting in the cash out when the other team gets wiped, because then it means that the other team is probably only going to have one more fight left of that cash out. So you want to like put the vault in and then everyone to get wiped. You don't want everyone to get wiped and then you put the vault in, because then they can probably have like 2 or 3 fights at the cash out, right? So like if the enemy team got wiped now, that would be very, very, very ideal. But my teammates are marking that area, and I kind of make the wrong call here. I think my teammates shouldn't be down there. I think we should all kind of come back to A and defend A, but I'm probably going to go with my teammates. I see one of them dies. I'm assuming that all of, like, orange is low, because my teammates have been quite good throughout, so I'm assuming that they got orange low as well. I charge the Sam into this room. I try and take out the Heavy. Teammate, that one of them gets defibrillated, and then I die. So that was not ideal at all. It didn't go very well, and I think my last teammate is just going to wait for one of my other teammates to coin. So because we all played quite well throughout, we have a bunch of coins, so we don't really have to worry about coins. I think I've got like 5 or 4, and I think everyone else has like 4 or 3, because there's one point where they coined earlier on. But saving the coins for the final round is very, very good, or even saving the coins for like round 3 or round 4 is very, very good. You can use a bunch of coins in round 3 as well, because honestly, you don't really need many in the final round. I have 5 coins here, but I don't need to use them. I just get rezzed, and there's not much point coining it. Like, I could have coined, but it only would have saved a few seconds, so I just waited for teammate to res, and then at least I spawned with at least one other teammate as well. And now we're going to go back up to cash out A. Not a whole lot of time left on it, but we can still comfortably take it. I use the jump pad. I try and chuck a dome shield in there and just to take it straight away, because that would mean the enemy team has to kind of push. Doesn't work because there's an APS turret. I destroyed the APS turret. I see there's a C4 on the cash out. I tried to sneakily see if I could get it through that little hole, but I couldn't. So now I'm worried about the C4. I don't really want that C4 to be there. Teammate blows it up. I was about to. There's still one C4 on it, but they do try and blow it up. I don't have a dome shield here, so I just try and stand in front of my teammate as much as possible. I end up killing the heavy. I hear the team wipe sound, and here you just get the cash out. You don't rest the teammate, you get the cash out, we get it, and boom, now it's going to go away, and we're going to have got the first one. So yes, sometimes the team wipe sound is late. It's probably even better to look up at the top left quickly every time you get a kill, just to see if it's been a team wipe, but the sound wasn't late there, so I knew straight away it was safe to go for the cash out. That's what I did, and we did end up getting it. So that was very, very, very last second, but teammate did a good job of trying to get it. I tried to stand in front of them so that the enemy would be shooting me instead of my teammate, so that we would just get it first time, but it didn't work like that, and again, I didn't have a dome shield, so I couldn't protect them. But we got it afterwards. And even stealing this cash out there kind of like baited the enemy to come down, and then we killed them. Then they got wiped, and we could just get it easily. So that all went very, very well. And now we're 1-0 up. And when someone is 1-0 up in the final round, it's quite stressful, because if they get the next one, they win. And if you get the next one, you still have to get the one after that as well. So it's always kind of advantageous to get the first cash out. Here, we're going to go to C. Again, it's suspended structures. I try and throw some C4 onto the vault. Then we're going to try and throw it at the enemies and blow it up. It doesn't quite work. I see someone's on the crane. I try and do a ridiculous vault shot, but things have weight on them now. So, because my C4 was on the vault, it was quite heavy. And the vault didn't go where I thought it was going to. I think someone's probably still up here. And sure enough, there's a heavy. And I just get them quite easily. And they get team wiped. So now it's going to be good to try and put that vault in. Teammate's doing it, and they just get it into... Yeah, here, I don't know what happened, but my teammate didn't put it into this cash out. And, like, I didn't know that for about 5 minutes. You'll see me here clearing out all the turrets. I thought we were fine in this situation. I'm waiting for this gas to clear. I'm going to res my other teammate here as well, because I still think that it's in cash out C. I now see my teammate's totem, and I go for the res. I'm going to wait for the gas to clear, which happens now. And now I'm actually going to throw a C4 onto this cash out as well. And then I realize that it's not here. Like, a teammate even puts the turret there as well, because they still think that it's also at C. So I have absolutely no idea why the other teammate decided to put it into the other cash out. Maybe they just didn't see cash out C or something, but everyone was a little bit confused there. Maybe they thought, like, the enemy was still alive. I'm not so sure, but I went to this cash out. I tried to RPG someone. I tried to get a kill. I did, and then I get killed from behind. And, yeah, so that was just a very, very odd situation. Like, me and my other teammate that were both at the cash out C both really thought that it was in that cash out, and it just wasn't. So that was definitely a bit odd. I don't really know what happened there, but that's okay. Sometimes these things happen. One teammate left, and here you either want to get wiped quite quickly, or you just want to wait to coin, and they got wiped quite quickly, which is fine. Like, sometimes you can take the 1v3 because it's going to be beneficial for the team if you get wiped, because you all spawn together. So that's kind of okay. The thing about it is that this is a very hard catch out to get to. If we spawn at the opposite side of that, like, big long stretch of just pure pathway, it's very, very open. It's going to be very hard to get to B. So yeah, it's like one of the trickiest cash outs to get if you're trying to attack. That might also be why my teammate put it into this one, but they should have marked it or something, because we did not realize at all. I think I may have killed my teammate there. I think I used the charge and slam while using the jump pad, and it might have knocked them off the map, so... Or they just fell, but it definitely might have been my fault there as well. I might have team killed my own teammate there. And I try and run up all the stairs, but I realize there's no point. There's not enough time left on B, so now I'm just going to try and go to the next floor. So that was a little bit unfortunate, just a very confusing kind of situation that went on there. And then there wasn't enough time left to get on this cash out. This long stretchy bit of road should have more like cover. There's no cover on this. It's very, very hard to get past. And if someone destroys the bit that has cover, which is on the left, which they had destroyed there, like the big bridge. If someone destroys the bridge, then it's very, very hard to get across that bit without getting killed. if you're trying to attack that cash out. So either the cash out needs to be moved, or this area just needs more cover, because as it is, that's a very, very easy place to defend. We just didn't defend it when we had it because none of us were there. But anyway, those things happen, and it's okay because we're still going to win anyway. I get defibrillated there, then I got RPG'd like instantly. I got insta-killed after I get rezzed, and then I get rezzed again, and I say thanks because it's always nice to be rezzed. And we did we get a team wipe? No. I heard the team wipe sound. Maybe it was a second ago. Teammate has the vault, and they're just going to put it into D here. We marked D, and they're going to D, so there's not going to be any confusion this time. We're just going to put it into that cash out, and then we're going to defend it as best we can. I grabbed this goo barrel, then I also see that other goo barrel that I just passed by, and I'm going to try and reinforce this room as much as possible because I do not want to lose this game, and it's going to be nice to win. So I put some by that door. I'm going to chuck some C4 onto the cash out so I can blow it up if someone goes to steal. I throw that red barrel away because I don't really want someone to shoot that red barrel and then my C4 gets destroyed. I close the door, put some goo by the door. I'm going to put some goo by this door as well. And then I'm going to close that door and put some goo by the vent. So this is all very, very good off. Unfortunately, there's a hole in that wall, but I think I might try and cover that up at some other point. But basically, like, if someone tries to get through the goo, I'm gonna know about that. I also put some fire by the cash out, so if I blow up the C4, there's fire on it, and someone's gonna be taking damage if they try and steal the cash out. There is another goo barrel up there that I do see. I go and grab that as well. And I mark the cash out here, because my teammates are pushing a little bit far. There's like halfway left on D. All we have to do is defend it, and they're a little bit far away. I'm also marking an enemy because there is an enemy through that wall trying to destroy the goo. I RPG them, and I'm going to charge and slam through that wall. I don't actually know where they went. They went upstairs. That's where they went. And now I'm going to finish them off in a second. And I reload my shotgun. Always good to keep your shotgun reloaded, especially like the shotgun in particular, because you know it has like the 4 shots and then you have to reload it. So if you just keep it constantly reloaded, you know that you're on like shot 1 out of 4, if that makes sense. But in general, it's always good to keep your weapons reloaded. Again, if you kill an enemy, guard their totem. I'm guarding this enemy's totem. I even throw some smoke by it so that it's going to be a bit harder to see me. So I'm expecting like a medium to come and defibrillate this, and I'm just going to mess them up with the shotgun. But that doesn't happen, and eventually I think they are just going to coin. But earlier on I checked, and both of the enemies only have 1 coin. Like 2 enemies have 1 coin, and then someone has a bunch. But it's very, very good to guard the enemy's totems. Someone tries to steal the cash out, and I RPG them, so they get RPG'd and blown up by 2 C4 and also a pyro grenade, so they didn't have much chance there. And also, like, obviously, if you've got C4 on the cash out, and you RPG the cash out, the C4 is going to blow up as well, so they got absolutely demolished. And we won, so that was like a very... You know, there was like one match that was a bit sketchy, which is the one where I kind of killed myself twice, or I messed up twice. In one of the matches, I think it was round 3, and then I brought it back at the end, and that was the only sketchy round, and the rest of it went quite smoothly. So yeah, that was pretty good. And you'll see here that it wasn't like any of us had like 20 or 25 kills in each match. We just understood how the game worked. Everyone on the team understood how the game worked, and that's literally the only reason we won. Like, one of my teammates went negative KD in quite a few matches, but the great thing about this game, especially if you kind of suck at shooting, like me, is that it doesn't really matter what your KD is at all. That is not the right kind of metric to judge whether or not someone's good at this game, because the KD just doesn't matter. Like, there would have been other teams in those tournaments there that had a bunch more kills, but we knocked them out because we played the objective, right? So that's one of the very, very good things about this game. But, yeah, there you go. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be it for this video. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Farewell.